Hello, 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 my goobers, goblins, everybody in between. How you doing? How you feel? Back again with another one. I told y'all I was gonna talk about Chud. Talk about Carmelo. Now I gotta talk about Chud. I gotta be fair, Gotta be fair to everybody. Gotta be fair across the board. So let's see what old Chuddy boy is up to, right?
Chud is cooked. His worst nightmare came to fruition today. Oh, he is fried. Them good folks came to that courtroom and they gave Chud everything he been asking for. Oh, they gave him everything he been wanting for, man. See, I got to admit, people, I gotta confess. I have to apologize to my Lord. See, when the Devils was on X, the racist playground, they made me lose faith in my Lord, man. I thought my Lord was gonna let us down. I didn't know the mighty God I serve. So I have to exalt him in front of the world now because I lost faith privately. When them Devils came on X,
I ain't trying to disparage this dude, but if that's all it took for you to lose, I'm not sure how strong it was in the first place. That's just my opinion.
and they proclaimed victory, and they proclaimed that Chud will be released this week. I almost lost faith in my God, but my God showed me today he's a mighty God. Chud in his racist community was confident. Oh, you couldn't tell him nothing. They just knew Chud was coming home this week. They posted Chud would hopefully be out next week. The only thing keeping him in is this failure to appear warrant. And the reason why this was devastating is because they announced that they had secured 10 bail bondsmen ready to bond out Chud. So that obstacle was gone. And the only
Not for that 1 point. I think it was what, 1.2 million? It was either a million, 1.2 million. It was up there. It was way up there. Everest level of bond. I don't believe none of that. It's people talking. Like, you go and talk and try to give people hope and make it sound like you're in a better situation than you are, but it don't do you no good, because if you find out she was lying, you look bad. If the court don't go the way you want it to, you look bad. Just best thing you can do is keep your mouth shut. And if you were truly innocent, which we all know Chubb was not, he literally broadcasted everything on Twitter or X. So we knew he wasn't getting out of there. We knew he wasn't innocent. Because if he did that, just like I said for Carmelo Anthony, it is, if Carmelo got locked up, Chubb get locked up. And I'm not saying that because one is black, one is white. I'm saying, in my opinion, their crimes are parallel. Both of them were looking for problems. Both of them found those problems. Both of them need to be locked up.
thing keeping him was this failure to appear warrant in his theft case. So he goes, even though he was in Davidson County's custody the night before court and then was relinquished back into Montgomery County as part of what seems to be a pre-planned plot to keep it in as long as possible. Once out, Chud will be evicted from the home he's lived in for 10 years. We're looking for a new place to live, as he is now being ordered by the court to report the address of where he will be. When I first read that, it worried me, people, but I had to make videos with a poker face. I couldn't let you guys know that I was worried. I had to bring a poker face, because if I look worried, you guys will be worried. We had to come here with a poker face, but I thought, damn.
I don't know what he worried about in the first place. Again, personally, if you look at everything and all the evidence, that only way he getting that on is on bond. And if you got the money to put up, or you got the collateral put up, anybody for the most part will bail you out. It all comes down to think they're gonna get their money back. So if Chud got out, hypothetically, let's say he got out on bond, right? He gonna go and do what? Right back what he was doing. He'll go making videos, he'll do all that other stuff. So he gonna likely make the money. I don't know if Chud got the money. He said early on that all his stuff was frozen. He couldn't access it. So maybe he got the money for it and they just froze his accounts. He couldn't access it. But what is he going to do? Go back and make the content. He going to make more money anyway. And then that bondsman going to get their money back. So they not sweating it. The thing is you got to show you good for it, right? It's just like if you go buy a car. It's your credit good. Same thing with a house. It's your credit good. I'm not going to give you the money to go buy this thing, or in his case, the bond out, if I don't think I'm going to get my money back, because then it's a big waste for me.
How were they able to do this? Not knowing my God had other plans. Because what was keeping Chud in was the $1 million bond. Now, some way, somehow, them racist white boys was able to put together their paper, man. They was able to make calls. They was able to be grassrooted. They was able to get the bill bondsman to fold and cave because we ain't making enough calls. The bill bondsman that initially said we not bonding him out, they was able to cave to them boys because they made calls every day relentlessly and bully them into stepping up to bond out Chud. So Chud had the bond package already secured according to them. He only had the arrest warrant for failure to appear because he went to jail the night before and got released like the morning of and couldn't make it. Okay. Well, he was back in court today. Now, this was something like the case that he was like appearing for was like a misdemeanor. So they thought, man, this is nothing. This is probably going to get thrown out. Like, it's a little misdemeanor. He's going to come out. So they was walking into this confident. Chud even came to the courtroom all smiles. He wasn't angry or sad as he usually is. Ain't no more puppy dog eyes in the beginning. Because he thought, man, I'm coming out. This is a misdemeanor. This is nothing.
Online streamer known as Chud the Builder is expected in a Nashville courtroom.
Jaxie is back in studio with us now to show us what's planned for today. Jaxie, good morning.
Nickel and Mark Dalton Etherly, a.k.a. Chud the Builder, is scheduled to appear in Davidson County today as he faces 3 misdemeanor charges stemming from an incident at a downtown Nashville hotel. Etherly, who is also facing separate felony charges in Montgomery County, is set for a preliminary hearing before Judge Melissa Blackburn in General Sessions Court. Court records show the
I think that's when that fool shot himself. If that's what I think it is, that's when right outside the courthouse, this moron gets into an altercation with somebody, shoots that guy, and shoots himself. So now he has to be wheeled off to the hospital because the moron shot himself. And it just shows not everybody need to have a gun. Personally, I am 2A positive. I own at least 3 firearms I can think of. But not everybody need to have a firearm. Prime example, especially when the people, like that should have been a warning sign for anyone who should have been watching him. I guess, maybe nobody was paying him any kind of attention because he was too small. But that's why you need to be watching people, because the man is literally broadcasting what he plans on doing on Twitter. So first chance he gets, of course he's going to take it. And the problem is he got to go out and antagonize, because ain't nobody going to mess with him, because ain't nobody paying him no attention. It ain't going to bother him. So he got to go out and antagonize, get a reaction to try to justify him shooting somebody.
Nashville cases include theft under $1,000, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. The charges are from a May incident at Bob's Steak and Chop House inside the Omni Hotel. Investigators say Etherly live streamed inside the restaurant after staff asked him not to, then refused to pay a more than $370 tab after being told to leave. At his last court appearance, a bench warrant was issued after he did not appear for a scheduled Davidson County hearing.
That's a stupid reason to get arrested. You live stream, and the business asks you not to live stream. Because I ain't know what his original stuff was for. They ask you not to live stream. You tell them no, and when they tell you, all right, you got to leave, you refuse to pay. You had your food. Services was rendered. Like, pay your bill, leave. You just don't like nobody telling you what to do is the issue. And now look what happened. Look where you at. See, though? Just like Carmelo. All you had to do is leave. The parallels, they're amazing. All you had to do was leave, and none of this would happen. I don't know. Same thing with the other one. It's like, I don't know. They might have found a way to make it happen anyway. But fact of the matter is all they had to do was leave, and they neither one of them want to do it, and now look what happened.
We'll be following the hearing this morning to learn whether this case moves forward.
You couldn't tell them they wasn't having a good day, bruh. They was straight aura farming that courtroom. Chud walked in straight aura farming, bruh. Had the chains across his waist. His hands were shackled, but he had his hands positioned like this, as if he was like an evil villain in a movie, as if he was summoning ninjutsu. I said, look at this guy, bruh. This dude who literally lived in a trailer park for the last 10 years. This racist trash is acting like he's some type of like sophisticated diplomat. Man, all right, bruh.
Hey, you can be sophisticated and live in a trailer park. Your origins do not dictate who you are. Maybe he was sophisticated in his own time, and maybe this online personality that he presented, that he built for himself, is the problem, because he let that online personality, he felt a little too good getting the attention and everything, so he let that take over as the dominant personality and persona, and it landed him in hot water.
But he got some bad news. So the first thing we found out is that bond is getting revoked. That bond is getting revoked. Okay? Not the $1 million bond, but the bond for the misdemeanor he was out on, that bond got revoked, meaning he got to stay in jail. And you know why they revoked his bond? Because they deem him a threat to society, as they should.
Well, of course it got revoked. Like, again, he got into an altercation with the gunfight, because I believe, I could be wrong. If I am wrong, please in the comments let me know. I'm pretty sure that the reason he was at the courthouse, left and got into the altercation, he was at the courthouse because of the misdemeanors. So the instant he got into a situation where he got arrested again, yes, the bond's revoked. Like, it don't matter if you got the $1 million or $1.2 million bond, your original bond got revoked. So yeah, you staying locked up. Like, that's why this, I need people to think. I ain't saying he ain't thinking, but I think what a lot of people doing, they missing the forest for the trees. You know, they so busy looking at what's right in front of them, they not looking at the bigger image. He was locked up. He got arrested. He got arrested. He got out on bond for the misdemeanors. He gets into a altercation where he shoots someone and himself and gets locked up again. Because he got arrested, the first bond is now pulled. So you go back to jail, you stay in jail. They're so busy looking at the $1 million bond that they think if he posts it, he just gets out and goes free again. No, not at all. As soon as that first bond get messed up, as soon as you get arrested, you locked up in there. Yeah, there's some cases where they're able to get out again, but this fool shot somebody. And again, himself. I'm going to keep saying that because I find it hilarious that he shot himself. But, you know, he shot somebody else and he shot himself. No, he shouldn't be getting that. He should not be getting out whatsoever. It'd been a bit ridiculous, and I question the justice system if he did get out, but he didn't. So, as far as I'm concerned, everything's fair across the board.
As they should. As they should, man. See, when you commit crimes in this country, the good white men say they have the power to hold ya if they want to, if they deem you are a threat to others. And as they should. He is a threat. All right? Now, it's a misdemeanor, okay, but you still have to prove that if you get released out on bond, you won't do harm to others. And how could they be so sure when you online, on X, on Twitter, on your live stream, you online saying that your grand finale is gonna be leaving a black man dead on the pavement? The judge seen this and just said, huh? You want me to free you? Man, all right. Bro, stop wasting my time out here, man.
On influencer Chud the Builder will remain behind bars, accused of attempted murder and linked to dozens of violent videos online. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 5. I'm Bob Mueller.
I've said it again. Well, I said it once before, and I'm going to say it again. Who needs the detectives when these clowns are showing their own evidence? They gathering their own evidence. They're bookmarking their own evidence. They live stream it on Twitch, on Kick, or wherever. They archive the video so it could go be watched millions of times later. And in some cases, depending on the streamer, they put it on YouTube for other people to watch and enjoy. You got TikTok, you got X. They put this stuff all over the place. Like, what you need investigators for? Most of these clowns just document their own crimes and they just put it up there for you. All you got to do is just sit there and I'm like, all right, well, that's his fourth video. We got enough evidence. Go get him. send the red and blues to his house.
I'm Haley Wilkes. News 2's Lexi Wilson explains what happened in a Davidson County courthouse this morning.
Dalton Etherly, better known as Chud the Builder, enters a Davidson County courtroom Wednesday. The social media influencer facing charges in Nashville after he refused to stop live streaming inside a restaurant at the Omni Hotel and then refused to pay. But the hearing today mostly focused on a
complete side note that really don't have nothing to do with him. If y'all never stayed at an Omni Hotel, go do it. And this ain't a plug for Omni. I'm not big enough where nobody's going to pay me to shout them out. But I have stayed at an Omni Hotel, I think a couple times. They were nice. They were really nice. It was one that had a Walgreens inside of it, and it was nice. It had everything you needed, and then little snacks, food, all that. Like the mall, not the mall, the hotel had like a mall inside of it. It was legit. Like I'm telling you, so if it was a restaurant in there, this is a high end place. This ain't like no average everyday. It ain't like you go into Walmart and there's McDonald's in there, and they don't even do that no more. But if you go into the Omni and there's a restaurant in there, that's a high end place. It's a high end place. That $300 bill might have been like 4 things, depending on what he got. But if you go in the Omni and you go to a hotel in the Omni, and they ask, because that's the thing, they not gonna walk up and be rude to you. They're gonna ask you, "Hey, can you do X, Y, and Z?" And the fact that you told them people no, and you thought that was gonna fly, nobody.
Separate case in Montgomery County. Prosecutors played videos and reviewed social media posts made by Etherly, posted before the shooting outside the Montgomery County courthouse. They were racist and violent.
So even social media would recognize what he's saying is improper?
Yes, sir.
And improper is a nice word, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Etherly is charged with attempted murder in that case. Etherly's attorney argued the court should consider threats his client receives online.
Mr. Etherly has made...
The clown said you should consider threats that he got online. They're in response to what he did and said. Like, you can't they threatened him because you threatened him first. Like, come on. It was just, again, like, I'm going to keep drawing parallels. It was the same with Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony got told to leave, and what did he say? "I wish you would." And they took that as inviting violence. Now, black people know "I wish you would" means the opposite. It means don't touch me. Or see what happened. I think that's what he said. He said one of them too. He was like, "I wish you would," or "touch me, see what happened." It means the opposite. But that don't mean nothing when you looking at facts and intention. They're going to take exactly what you say and look at what you do right afterwards. So if you go and say something like that, you're inviting trouble. Just like Chud, go on here, go online, go on X, whatever, and he's inviting trouble. In a lot of cases, instigating it. I ain't going to say a lot. All his cases, he instigating it. He's instigating the trouble. He calls trouble. He say stuff that he know gonna piss people off, and most of them be like, "Nah, don't worry about it. He want a reaction. Let it go." You'll see other people walking around like, "Nah, he want a reaction. Let it go. Don't worry about it." And yeah, justifiably, they heated, they mad, but that's what he want. He wants you to snap. He wants you to do something so he can claim self-defense. But it ain't self-defense again if you're the one instigating the problems. And this fool live streaming the whole thing. So all you had to do, if somebody did do something, is pull it up. Now, again, this fool did it to himself. So, you can't do nothing about that.
Complaints about people making threats to him, correct? In fact, to the local sheriff's, well, I say local, we're in Davidson County, but to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department, he's made several complaints. Yes. Including people threatening to chop his infant son's head off.
In the end, the judge sided with prosecutors and revoked Etherly's Davidson County bond, citing concerns about the violent social media posts.
I ain't know he had a kid, and that ain't cool. His kid ain't do nothing. He did something, sins of the father, all that jazz. The kid ain't do nothing, leave the kid alone. But again, at the same time, with some stuff you done said, you can't be surprised by some of the stuff people come back with. Like, you cannot be surprised. When you walk around live streaming you, antagonizing people, pissing people off, and then pepper spraying them, you can't be surprised when people start hunting down your family, because it's like, if I can't get you, I'm going to hurt you another way, and they going to go after your family. You, being a moron that you are, know you got this infant son in this family. Why would you do things that would endanger them? That's one of the things that it never makes sense to me. I'm not going to walk around causing problems knowing I have family that some people will go after to hurt in order to hurt me. If they can't do nothing to me personally, if they know talking ain't gonna do nothing, they know swinging at me ain't gonna do nothing, that's not a big deal. I call the cops to get you arrested, whatever the case is. And that's me protecting you from me, because I know what I'm capable of. But all in all, there's always a chance somebody's gonna go after your own family. So why would you intentionally do things knowing it could put them in danger, especially if you got an infant son? Because I had no idea. I didn't even know he had a kid, because I don't care about the dude. I don't pay dude no attention. I just find the whole parallel funny.
Etherly's attorney filed a motion to dismiss the charges in Nashville, but that was not addressed today.
Mr. Etherly's looking at being held without bond on misdemeanors that he ought to have been cited for. And he's charged with a resisting arrest that I think even the state would capitulate as improper.
His next court appearance in Davidson County is set for June 25th. Etherly is also facing a $1 million bond in the Montgomery County shooting case.
Chud, you did bad, bruh. You did bad, man. You did horrendous, bro. You not getting out, man. Bro, get comfy. These idiots got another court date scheduled in 8 days on the 25th. And I'm like, why? They got a court date scheduled for them to figure out if the charges are getting dropped. So you want a court date scheduled in 8 days for these charges to get dropped. The charges that the judge just revoked bond on, are you crazy? In what world would a judge revoke bond in a misdemeanor case and then 8 days later dismiss the case? You have no chance, bro. It's over with. This, to me, is a common sense ruling. It's not even about whether or not we hate Chud, because we do hate Chud now, right? We do wish the worst on Chud now, but this is...
Yeah, I don't. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care what happens to him as an individual. Like, it's one of them things where somebody could rob the house up the road, and it's a shame that happened to that person up the road, but it doesn't affect me. Yeah, the opportunity is there for him to rob my place next, but you breaking my house, you threaten my family, I'm putting you down with a 9mm Motrin. But if he get arrested and he tried to get locked up, justice was served, system did what the system's supposed to do, no skin off my back, no big deal. So it's the same case with Chud. I can't control other people's reactions. If I was in a situation with Chud, I'm walking down the street and Chud come bother me, I'm not paying him no attention. I'm just keep walking. Who cares? He thrives on negative attention, just like a child. And most kids, when they throw attention, what you do? You ignore them. Keep walking. Don't pay them no attention because they want a reaction. They thrive on the reaction. Whether it's a positive reaction or a negative reaction, they want a reaction. So the best thing you can do is starve it. Just like a fire, you starve it. You leave it alone, let it burn itself out. You keep going about your way. You might not be happy with what you heard or what he said or anything, but all in all, it's just words. He just talking. He ain't hurt you. He ain't touch you. And again, if you know his scheme and you know his game, he's trying to rile you up to where you touch him so he could do something back and call it justification, call it self-defense. So at that point, you need to have control over yourself to where you don't even need to bother. Keep control of your own emotions. Turn around and walk off. Again, same thing with Carmelo. He let his emotions get heated, let it get flared to the point where he stabbed somebody, killed the young man. And now he going to spend the next potentially 35 years in prison. Chud, maybe the same thing. Because again, the big one for him is that attempted murder. They trying to get him on attempted murder. And it's probably going to be attempted murder in the first degree because on X, he said it. So they're going to get him for premeditated. They're going to say he planned it. And it just happened right outside the courtroom. Because my question always was where you get the gun from. You can't go to court and have no gun. So was one of his buddies outside waiting and gave him the gun as soon as he got outside the courtroom? Like, what happened there? But it is, I don't hate the dude. I don't care enough about him. That takes energy. That takes time. And I don't care. I am very indifferent to Chud. It ain't a like, it ain't a hate. And as far as I'm concerned, Chud is on the same level as a caterpillar that I watch outside my window. It might turn to a butterfly. I might get eaten by a frog or a bird. Either way, my life goes on. And yours should too.
Common sense. This man has made his entire content going around and harassing people. The world watched this take place. People were begging authorities to step in and do something before somebody get hurt. Authorities sat back and allowed him to operate. Once they...
Again, it's all technicality because you can't lock the dude up for talking. You can't lock nobody up for running out your mouth and talking. And even through this talking, if someone attacks him first, they're going to say it was self-defense. So you can't lock him up for talking if he's not actively doing anything. Now, what you can do, and what the police likely were doing, because we don't know what the police were up to. We don't know if he was being investigated, none of that. We won't know until like a court case comes up and they bring all this up. What they will do, though, is let you keep doing it to stack the evidence and show it's a repeated pattern. You have a history of doing this. They know you're doing this, and they got it all documented. So now you can't say it was self-defense because you went out looking for that. I think they just did that with was it clavicular? It was somebody else they just did that with, the exact same thing, where he had a repeated pattern of going out looking for trouble, and they used that against him in the court case. I could be wrong. It might have been something they said with Chud, but I'm pretty sure they just did that recently with somebody else, where they showed it was a repeated process and he kept doing it, and all they were doing in the background, stacking stuff up, just stacking it. It's up to you to not react. But they can still stack it and say, hey, you're being a menace. You're a menace to society, you're a public menace, or whatever the case is. And they can get you on that. But they can't get you from running your mouth.
Seeing the consequences of his actions, they're now taking improper proto steps to protect everybody. I think the internet has completely desensitized us. Do we understand how absolutely wild what Chud did is? Chud was going around calling people the N-word with a hard R, live streaming it for profit. Then he came on his X account and said he's going to shoot and kill a black person and get away with it, and black people are gonna march. He then proceeds to follow up on that credible threat. Do you understand how wild that is from a judge?
It wasn't a credible threat at the time if somebody run off at the mouth. If they did that to everybody on X, it'd be a lot of people locked up. Black, white, Asian, purple, green, yellow, doesn't matter. It'd be a lot of people locked up if they went off on people just run off at the mouth on X. It's people that say some vile stuff on there, which is why I don't pay X no attention. But there's some vile people on there that say some vile stuff. And if they tried to lock up everybody for what they said, it'd be a lot of people locked up. And then all of them turn around and launch lawsuits because it's under the First Amendment. It's not a credible threat. Not yet. So he throwing words out there trying to make it sound bigger than it is, and it's not. It was not a credible threat. He was run off at the mouth, saying the same stuff he always saying. It was not a credible threat. To have a credible threat, you need evidence. If they found plans on his computer, like if they saw that and they launched an investigation, they found plans on his computer, it then becomes a credible threat. If one of his friends said, hey, this guy, he said this on X, and then show him planning all this out, yeah, we're going to go down here, and we're going to find this one guy, we're going to make him do this, this, and this. Now it's a credible threat. You have evidence. You got proof. Until then, it's just run off at the mouth. And unfortunately, even if you don't like it, it's protected under the First Amendment.
Perspective, this man is a menace. He can't be let back in society. We got to do what we got to do to protect society. Can you imagine if Chud gets released and he's allowed to go back out there and run that same content again? The next time somebody is going to get hurt badly. And there may not be survivors. And that's what I'm saying. We need to protect the world from Chud. Chud shouldn't be like put back out here, to shoot more people? To now actually commit murder? No, hell nah, bro. Keep him in jail.
He wouldn't have a chance to, because now they know what he's willing to go and do. They're more likely to hunt him down. They're more likely to just shoot him on sight. So what more likely would happen is Chud would be out and about, and somebody's going to be watching his stream, hunting him down, looking for him, and wanting Chud to do or say something. And whether they by themselves or they're in a group, they're going to go out to Chud, and people are going to get hurt in the crossfire. Is what's all going to end up happening. They're going to get caught up in the crossfire because somebody can't control their own emotions to go out to Chud. Chud is inviting and looking for problems, and then everybody who happen to be around minding their own business, eating dinner, for example, because he pepper sprayed somebody, and the people behind them sitting out there outside the restaurant eating dinner got pepper sprayed too. They ain't do nothing to deserve that. They was minding their own business. They was out for a lovely evening, minding their own business, and got pepper sprayed. So it'd be the same case. Somebody can't control themselves emotionally. They let Chud talk trash and get to them, and because they know Chud carry a weapon, which, depending on how stuff go, he may not be allowed to have one after this, but Chud carrying a weapon, they know he got a weapon, so they gonna show up with a weapon with the intention of shooting Chud.
Now, the detective actually testified, and he blew a hole in Chud's case. So he testified because he reviewed the footage. Now, when he reviewed the footage, he says, listen, this is not self-defense for clear and obvious reasons.
Happening now, the controversial online streamer known as Chud the Builder is making an appearance in a Nashville courtroom. Dalton Etherly faces 3 misdemeanor charges stemming from a May incident at Bob's Steak and Chop House inside the Omni Hotel. Investigators say Etherly live streamed inside the restaurant after staff asked
Why he keep showing this same clip again? I thought he was going to show the other one.
him not to, then refused to pay. Etherly also faces separate felony charges in Montgomery County for a shooting investigation. During Etherly's court appearance, one investigator on the stand recalled the shooting.
Shots are shown to be fired prior to them hitting the ground.
Shots are being shown to have been fired prior to that?
Yes.
And how do we know that?
I can see, or in the courthouse video, it shows the casing ejecting from the firearm. It also shows the ricochet off the concrete planter.
Okay.
Prior to them hitting the ground.
So Mr. Fox hadn't been hit at that point, correct? If you're seeing a ricochet in one casing.
I would assume so.
The judge denied Etherly's release today, citing violent posts he's made on social media.
Right. Because this is now talking about the shooting and situation and not just the misdemeanor, which is what I was saying before about him escalating and doing something else. So now they have a credible reason to keep him locked up. Now the threat is credible, given what they know and the information they have and what they've seen him do. Now it's a credible threat. It was not a credible threat before. It was just somebody on the internet run off at the mouth, like everybody does. And again, if they started locking people up for the mess they say on the internet, we would have very few people actually walking around free.
Etherly is also facing a $1 million bond in the Montgomery County case.
That puts such a big hole in their self-defense case. That's so important. You know why that's important? Because the narrative online, any one of these commentators, he was taking Chud to the ground. Chud had to shoot him. I mean, you can't take somebody to the ground. I mean, the ground's the most dangerous position. They were saying that time after time after time after time. But with this, what this tells us is, hold on. Joshua Fox was already shot. See, Chud walked up to Joshua.
That's not what he said. He had stuff in. The dude literally said, well, the defense said, doesn't mean he was shot at the time. And the officer said he would assume. So we don't know when he was actually shot. What we do know is that Chud fired before he hit the ground. Because they said you saw the casing eject and you saw a ricochet hit the ground and bounce off. Right? Before he hit the ground. That could have been right before he got tackled. Could have been mid-tackle. We don't know. So we know he started firing before it became self-defense. It's self-defense if you on the ground and he choking you, you're going to die, right? Or he pulls out a gun and he's going to shoot you. Chud is a big dude. At least he looked like he a big dude, but there are not too many people living on the planet that will equal them being so much bigger than Chud that it's equal force for him to pull a firearm. No, I don't know Tennessee laws. I'm from Florida. I know Florida laws as far as stand your ground, stuff like that. But it's, again, right outside the courthouse. You're right outside the courthouse. None of that is self-defense. None of that would be stand your ground.
Joshua Fox antagonized Joshua Fox to start an issue. Joshua Fox responded back with Chud by standing up and saying, yo, stop calling me a slur. Chud walked off. Joshua Fox said, yo, don't call me a Chud. Chud turned back around and said, or what? Joshua Fox took off on him after Chud says, or what? Stop chimping out. He took off on him. He socked him. Chud could have very well socked Joshua Fox back or take off, leave, retreat. Chud put out a gun and shot him.
Now, in some states, that is a law where you have to make a actual effort to get away first before you shoot them. I think New York's like that, where you can only have a certain size firearm. You can only have so many rounds on you. And before you use it, you have to make a actual legit attempt to escape before using it. So if this situation happened in New York, Chud would be cooked immediately. He already cooked, but he'd be well done, like rotisserie chicken cooked. In this case, he's saying that Chud called him a slur. Dude, once again, self-control. Who cares? Walk away. He swung at him. He hit Chud. Chud then, instead of fighting back, pulls a gun. Not equal force. That is not equal force. You were not fearful for your life. Because if you were fearful for your life, you wouldn't have been calling him a slur in the first place. You wouldn't have said, or what? Like, what are you going to do about it? The same way Carmelo did it. You know, again, the only difference is this guy lived, and again, Chud shot himself. So the parallels between him and Carmelo are ridiculous, which is why, again, I'm fine with the verdict Carmelo got. Again, he's someone he wasn't supposed to be. He instigated a fight. He pulled a knife. He stabbed somebody. He killed him. He gets locked up for 35 years. Chud sees a black dude, calls him a slur. Dude say, "Don't call me that." Chud antagonizes him, says, "Or what?" Dude comes at him. Chud shoots him. Now this guy survives, and Chud also shoots himself. And I can't lie, would have been a little funny if Chud didn't make it because he shot himself, but then the other guy probably would have got locked up anyway. I don't know how stuff would have went. It's weird, but I still think it is a very interesting parallel between both cases.
That's not self-defense, bro. You antagonized the conflict, call that man a slur. The man punched you. You had an option to punch him back or retreat, and you choose to shoot him. So this narrative that Chud had to shoot him because he was taking Chud to the ground and he had Chud in a headlock. No, the headlock came after Chud already fired the gun. So Chud is cooked, it's over with, it's done, brother. Y'all dummies really admitted this. Man, all right, bro. Good luck, bro. Chud is fried, Chud is cooked, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section, man.
Same here. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. I still say, if you can't be upset Carmelo got locked up, but then be happy Chud is going to get locked up. It's like one or the other. It's either Carmelo go free, Chud go free. Carmelo get locked up, Chud get locked up. Because the parallels, again, are ridiculous. It's just one black, one white. Now, if Chud goes free after all of this, yeah, we got an issue. We got a real big issue there. But it don't look like Chud going free. The judge is even saying, no, that's not happening. Not only you not going free, your bond revoked, is the fact that in 8 days from this dude posting that, they said, I think he said 25th. So that's 4 more days from the day that they trying to go and have those charges dropped, which again is ridiculous. Nah. Because again, the whole gunfire incident just shows that you're a problem. But if Carmelo get locked up, Chud need to get locked up. If Chud go free, I will then say Carmelo need to go free. But until then, I'm going to say Carmelo got exactly what all he had to do was leave. He got what he asked for. And he didn't literally ask for it, but he asked for it by not leaving. He asked for it by pulling a knife and stabbing that dude. That's what you asked for. Those are your consequences for your actions. Same thing with Chud. Consequences for your actions. All you had to do was leave. You started something, you instigated it, you pulled the gun, you almost killed the dude, you shot yourself. Same thing. If Carmelo locked up, Chud locked up. If Chud goes free, I got a lot of questions. But question, comments, concern, y'all let me know in the comments below. And as usual, I'll catch you guys next time. Deuces.